Hello everyone, and welcome to this lecture on safety monitoring in clinical trials. Clinical trials are the foundation of modern medicine, but they also come with ethical and safety responsibilities. In this session, we'll explore how safety is maintained throughout a trial, from the design phase to participant follow-up, in accordance with ICH-GCP guidelines. We'll also look at the key roles of investigators, ethics committees, and sponsors in ensuring that the rights and well-being of subjects are always protected. Clinical trials play a critical role in advancing medicine. Every new treatment or drug must go through rigorous testing in humans before it can be approved. However, with this progress comes an increased awareness of ethical responsibilities and the need for robust safety monitoring. To ensure that participants are not exposed to unnecessary risk, a formal system must be in place, and that's where safety monitoring boards, like the Data Safety Monitoring Board or DSMB, come into play. These boards continuously review safety data, making sure that any potential risks are identified early and managed appropriately. According to the ICH-GCP, or International Council for Harmonization, Good Clinical Practice Guidelines, the rights, safety, and well-being of human subjects are the most important considerations in any clinical trial. These principles ensure that ethical conduct, scientific validity, and patient protection are upheld. Safety monitoring is a collaborative process involving four main players: the investigator, the Ethics Committee or IRB-IEC, the sponsor, and the clinical trial monitor. Each has a distinct but complementary role in safeguarding participants. The investigator holds a central role in participants' safety. According to ICH-GCP Section 4.3.2, the investigator must ensure that adequate medical care is provided to subjects during and following their participation in a trial. If any adverse events occur, whether related to the investigational product or not, they must be carefully documented and promptly reported to the sponsor and ethics committee. The investigator is often the first to recognize signs of harm or risk, and their vigilance is crucial for immediate intervention. The Institutional Review Board, or Independent Ethics Committee, is an independent body that ensures clinical trials are ethically and scientifically sound. Their duty doesn't end after giving initial approval. They are responsible for continuous review of each ongoing trial, typically at least once every year. These reviews assess whether the risk-benefit ratio remains acceptable, whether informed consent is being properly obtained, and whether participant welfare continues to be protected. Essentially, the IRB or IEC serves as the ethical guardian of the research process. Sponsors play a strategic oversight role in maintaining the integrity of the trial. They may set up an independent data monitoring committee, or IDMC, also known as a Data Safety Monitoring Board, to review unblinded safety and efficacy data at regular intervals. Based on these evaluations, the DSMB can recommend whether the trial should continue as planned, be modified for safety reasons, or even be stopped if risks outweigh benefits. This independent review adds a layer of transparency and helps maintain participant trust in the research process. The clinical trial monitor plays a key role in verifying the accuracy and integrity of safety data. According to ICH-GCP 5.18.4, the monitor must ensure that all adverse events and serious adverse events are correctly documented and reported within the timelines required by the protocol, GCP, and applicable regulations. The monitor acts as a bridge between the investigator site and the sponsor, confirming that data are complete, consistent, and in full compliance with regulatory expectations. Safety monitoring is not limited to one stage, it continues across all phases of a clinical trial. As the number of participants and data volume increase, the level of monitoring becomes more complex. Let's look at how safety monitoring functions at each specific phase of clinical research. Phase I trials are the first time an experimental drug is administered to humans, usually in a small group of 20 to 80 individuals. The main goal here is to establish a safe dose range, understand how the drug behaves in the body, and identify any early side effects. Because this is the first exposure in humans, safety monitoring is very intensive. Every subject is closely observed for any adverse reactions, and dose adjustments are made cautiously. In phase 2, the drug is tested in a larger group, typically 100 to 300 participants, who usually have the condition the drug aims to treat. This phase continues safety evaluation but also looks at preliminary effectiveness. Monitoring focuses on dose-related toxicity, identifying patterns of adverse events, and determining whether the drug's benefits appear to outweigh the risks before moving to larger Phase 3 studies. Phase 3 studies involve a much larger population, typically 1 to 3,000 participants, across multiple centers and sometimes multiple countries. The goal is to confirm both safety and efficacy on a broad scale. At this stage, independent data safety monitoring boards review data regularly to detect rare or severe adverse reactions. The results of these trials form the basis for regulatory approval. Once a drug is approved and marketed, safety monitoring does not stop, it actually expands in scope. Phase 4, or post-marketing surveillance, collects long-term and large-scale safety information. This phase often reveals rare or delayed side effects that weren't visible in controlled trials. According to FDA guidance, sponsors and investigators have an ongoing responsibility to report, analyze, and manage any unexpected or serious adverse events that emerge during real-world use. A Data and Safety Monitoring Board, or DSMB, is an independent group composed of professionals with relevant scientific and clinical expertise. Their main function is to periodically review the accumulating data from an ongoing clinical trial to ensure the safety of participants and the integrity of the study. DSMBs are typically appointed by the sponsor and are particularly important in randomized controlled trials where there may be significant potential risks to participants or where the trial is expected to run for an extended period. The DSMB serves as an independent safety and integrity checkpoint for a trial. Its foremost duty is to protect participants' safety by detecting any unexpected or unacceptable risks during the study. The board also reviews patterns such as high dropout rates, protocol deviations, or data irregularities that may affect the reliability of results. Ultimately, the DSMB ensures that the trial continues only if the benefit-to-risk ratio remains ethically and scientifically acceptable. A DSMB is not necessary for every clinical trial, but it becomes essential when studies involve significant potential risks, large participant numbers, or extended timeframes. They are commonly established for large, multi-center randomized controlled trials that evaluate major health outcomes such as mortality or severe morbidity. DSMBs are also vital for high-risk studies, including those involving vulnerable populations or innovative therapies like biologics and gene therapy. The composition of a DSMB is carefully chosen to balance scientific expertise, clinical judgment, and ethical oversight. Members are typically appointed by the sponsor or a steering committee, and they include clinicians with specialized experience, biostatisticians skilled in interpreting trial data, and often a medical ethicist for high-risk or sensitive studies. The DSMB's independence is crucial. Members must not have conflicts of interest with the sponsor or the study team, ensuring that all recommendations remain unbiased and focused solely on participant welfare. The DSMB is a multidisciplinary team. It often includes toxicologists, epidemiologists, and clinical pharmacologists, whose expertise ensures accurate interpretation of trial data. Additionally, one or more non-scientists may serve to represent the participant population, often someone affected by the disease being studied, or their close relative. For international trials, DSMBs are composed of representatives from multiple countries or regions, ensuring balanced and culturally appropriate oversight. Criteria for selecting DSMB members. When appointing DSMB members, selection is guided by clear professional standards. Each appointee must have sufficient expertise and relevant experience in their field. They must also demonstrate commitment to regular attendance at DSMB meetings, as decisions rely on consistent participation. Equally important is the ability to maintain confidentiality regarding interim data and the absence of any conflict of interest, which could bias their judgment. Together, these criteria ensure that the DSMB functions with both competence and integrity. The DSMB's primary role revolves around three main responsibilities. First, interim monitoring, which involves continuous oversight of trial data while the study is ongoing. Second, reviewing early studies, particularly those in the initial stages of drug development. And finally, fulfilling other administrative duties, such as issuing recommendations and maintaining official records of all meetings and decisions. Interim monitoring is a critical function of the DSMB. It ensures that emerging data are assessed at predefined intervals to protect participants and maintain scientific validity. The process involves monitoring for effectiveness, safety, study conduct, external data, and even less serious outcomes, which together provide a full picture of the trial's progress. Another critical responsibility of the Data Safety Monitoring Board is the consideration of external data. The DSMB does not operate in isolation. It continuously monitors external scientific evidence, including new research publications, results from related clinical trials, and even regulatory authority communications that may influence the ongoing study. For example, if another clinical trial using a similar drug or intervention reports unexpected adverse events, the DSMB must evaluate whether the same risks could apply to its own participants. The board carefully reviews this information to assess whether the balance between risk and benefit in its current study remains acceptable. If the external data raise concerns, the DSMB can recommend that the trial be modified, temporarily paused, or even terminated early. This process ensures that each clinical trial remains aligned with the most current scientific understanding, maintaining both participant safety and research integrity. Studies of less serious outcomes. Not every finding under review involves major or life-threatening outcomes. In many cases, less serious outcomes, such as mild side effects or secondary endpoints, provide early warning signals about the treatment's overall behavior. By carefully examining these subtler data patterns, DSMBs can detect potential issues early, ensuring prompt corrective action when necessary. These early phases, usually phase I and phase II, are when a new treatment is first tested in humans. The DSMB ensures that these trials are conducted safely, with appropriate monitoring of dosing, side effects, and early signs of effectiveness before the research expands to larger participant groups. What are early studies? Early studies begin with phase I trials, where a small group of participants, often healthy volunteers, are given the investigational treatment to determine its safety and appropriate dosage. Next comes phase II, which looks for preliminary evidence of how well the treatment works while continuing to assess side effects. Together, these studies establish the foundation for whether a drug can safely move forward into larger, confirmatory trials. During these early phases, the Data Safety Monitoring Board provides close and continuous oversight. It carefully reviews interim data to ensure participants' safety and to determine whether it is ethical and scientifically valid to continue the study. If early results show unexpected side effects or risks, the DSMB may recommend changes in the protocol, such as dose adjustments or additional monitoring. This vigilant supervision is critical because these first trials set the direction for all later research. Why DSMB involvement is important? The DSMB's presence in early studies is vital. It helps detect potential risks before hundreds or thousands of participants are exposed. If a study appears unsafe or ineffective, the DSMB can recommend stopping it early, preventing unnecessary harm and wasted effort. This process also improves the scientific quality and ethical credibility of the research, ensuring only well-justified studies continue. Besides monitoring effectiveness and safety, the Data Safety Monitoring Board, or DSMB, has several additional responsibilities. These include making recommendations about the continuation of a study and keeping detailed records of all meetings. Together, these duties ensure the research process remains transparent, ethical, and scientifically sound. 1. Making recommendations. One of the DSMB's most critical responsibilities is to make informed recommendations to the study sponsor. After reviewing interim results, the board decides whether the study should continue as planned, be terminated early, or proceed with specific modifications. Sometimes, the DSMB may suggest temporarily suspending the trial if uncertainties or safety issues need clarification. These recommendations are communicated both in writing and verbally, allowing for discussion and clarification between the DSMB and the sponsor. 2. Maintaining meeting records. Another important responsibility of the DSMB is maintaining complete and accurate meeting records. The board keeps minutes for every meeting, separating confidential, unblinded data discussions from general discussions. After each session, the DSMB submits a written report to the sponsor summarizing decisions and the reasoning behind them. If no changes are recommended, the report may simply confirm that the study should continue as designed. This documentation ensures transparency, accountability, and compliance with research standards. The DSMB conducts formal meetings at least once a year, or more frequently if required by the trial protocol. These meetings review the current status of the study, including safety, efficacy, and ongoing progress. Each meeting typically has 3 sessions. An open session, where the principal investigator discusses study status. A closed session, limited to DSMB members and statisticians who analyze unblinded data. And finally, a recommendation session, where members develop conclusions and advise the sponsor on next steps. Thank you for watching this session on the Data Safety Monitoring Board, or DSMB. We hope this presentation helped you understand how DSMBs ensure participant safety, scientific validity, and ethical responsibility throughout clinical trials. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more pharm.d study materials and detailed clinical research lectures.